John Twist of University Motors. Today I want to show you how to align the headlights on your MG. TC, TD, MGA, whatever you got, you can align them, tape measure, and some masking tape. The first thing we have to know is how far are the headlights apart from each other. Now it'd probably be handy to have somebody else sitting here, but I got 45 and a half, okay? Oh boy, it's almost maybe 45 and three quarters, something like that. So I'm gonna write that down because I'm an old guy and I forget that stuff. So it's like 45 and 3/4. Somebody else will probably post in the bottom and say, I measured mine real carefully and it's this. So read the comments. Then we measure the distance off the ground to the center of the lamp. Should be the same on both sides. Of course, if it's not, there's a problem with the leaf spring. So right to the center of the lamp on my daughter's car is 23 and a half inches. Okay? So we have to make 2 X's on the door. What did I say, 23 and a half. So we're going to put down the shop door. This is a terror for my cameraman because you're not supposed to shoot right out into the light, and now it's pretty dark in here, but that's the way it has to be. So I got my tape. I had my tape. And we're going to make 2 dots, 23 and a half above. Look at this. I've already done it. This is left over from an MGA that I did. 23 and a half. Let's see how this compares to an MGA. The MGA that I did. 23 and a half. I'm down here. Hope my landlord doesn't bother having me mark this thing up. So I'm looking right back at the car, and actually I want to have this point about here. Okay, nice thing about the door, so we assume the door is horizontal. The distance between them is 45 and 3/4. So I'm 45 and 3/4. I know where those marks are. I'm going to get this old tape off. You just want a bigger spot that you can illuminate. I suppose you could work off a pencil mark, but it's pretty hard to tell exactly where it's going. You need a bigger area to aim at. I've got halogen bulbs in this car, and we'll see how those work out. So here we go. We're putting our X's on here. Great. Can I find the mark? Must be this one. Okay, so we're aiming at that. We're going to turn on our headlights, get ourselves a minus screwdriver, slotted screwdriver. And we're on high beams because high beams run parallel to the road, straight down the road. Dip, it's not dim, it's dip, kicks down. For us, in England, it kicks the other way. So my cameraman's going to come behind me. And anyway, there's 2 screws on here. It isn't too complicated to figure out how to adjust them. There's 2 screws, and you always end up after having adjusted it clockwise. So I'm going to bring my beam on the left side over, if it'll come over. And again, we can only get them so good. I used to have some really cool vacuum attached alignment tools that fit on a 6014 bulb, but that was years ago, and they didn't survive my ownership. Finding them today on eBay would be a task. So I think that that's about good. I think it's a little high. So I'm going to back off the screw, but we always end up screwing clockwise. That's what the workshop manual says. So that, argue with me, but on the left-hand side, that's about as good as I'm going to get it. So we'll come over on the right-hand side. Watch, this is just the same. MGAs have 3 adjuster screws, and T-types, of course, have got that huge gland nut underneath the headlight, arm. So that's about as good as I'm going to get it here in the shop, but that's good enough. The farther away you are, the more accurate you can be, but then the more diffuse the beam becomes. It's harder. So, as long as it's not going up in somebody's eyes, that's the important part. So as I'm signing off here, I'll show you a little thing I added to my daughter's car. Safety fast.